What's up, guys? Cinestalker here for a new video. This video up here is just a nice, fun movie review video of a nice stack of some stuff I got sent in the last week and a half or so for some companies to review. Doing that again, it's been a while since I've done some reviews and stuff like that. So I did one about a week ago. Now I got a nice little stack of some stuff that's some nice, good horror goodness to share with you guys right about now. Some cool stuff like that just came out or about to come out. So look out for that right now. Let's go do it right now. Dive into the reviews. Let's do it, huh? All right, on to the reviews right now. So I got a nice stack of some awesome titles up here. Some really good stuff. I'm gonna start with a really great banger, an awesome set, awesome collection set to have. And that is right up here. And that is the Toxic Avenger 4K set. All the movies here in amazing 4K clarity and goodness. And this is a great one up here. And what's awesome is I want to say thank you to Trauma and Media Entertainment for sending this out to me to review. But the treatment was done by Vinegar Syndrome, which, you know, Vinegar Syndrome, they do amazing transfers of their products into 4K. So this never looked better. And I do have the old setup here that I had to compare it to from, I had this one a long time ago, which I'll always keep. It's autograph by Lloyd Kaufman. There's the Tox box set. That's not, I've never had like Citizen Toxie on 4K, of course. It was always had it on DVD from way back in the day. You know, I mean, all I had them on DVD. I never had them on Blu-ray or nothing like that. So it was great to see this in its full-blown clarity. Look great, which is cool too. But I like about Vinegar Syndrome and stuff like that. With their treatments, they keep it nice and clean and crisp, but they don't take away that nice, fine film grain to it. You know, the little film grain, the film little lines and stuff like that. They keep that there, but in all its pristine, condition and sound and stuff like that. This is a great set. I love how that artwork looks. It pops right there. It's a little bit embossed. You can see right up here and how it looks and things like that. There's the spine of it. Check out over there, and there is the back. All the 4 films. Get 1, 2, 3, and 4. All that good stuff, and then load up with all kinds of extras. So yeah, great. Let me open this up here. What's great too, all the films come in their own standalone jewel cases, which is great. You have a little postcard up here from Lloyd and Michael Kurtzman and things like that, and it says, you know, we love you now more than ever. And yes, they do. As marathon, I think it was about a week and a half ago or so, something like that. It was around that time, like leading up right before Halloween. I got this to check out, and I was checking these out. And of course, probably the very first one, I'll dive into the other ones real quick too. The very first Toxic Avenger made in good old 1984 classic film of, you know, schlocky, great, slapsticky gore. You got Melvin the Mop Boy. He's like this geeky 98-pound weakling. He gets bullied at his work at this gym, and by these mid-80s kind of like yuppie workout enthusiasts. They pick on him, and they do like this tease thing, and he jumps out of a window. He falls out of the window, actually falls to a vat of toxic waste, and therefore he gets all burned and mutated. His skin starts bubbling. It's very grotesque and fun gore. And then he goes home, and he transforms in the bathroom. In the process of taking a bath, he looks in the mirror, transforms into the Toxic Avenger that goes around cleaning up the city of crime and toxic waste developers out there. And he gets a girlfriend that's blind. She loves him for who he is. And it's just great stuff. He gets some great voiceover. He's like, hello, I am Toxie, or how are you? And it's like the voiceover of Toxie. Some great, good, fun, classic, cheesy gore goodness as a Toxic Avenger. I always like these movies. I always love the old Trauma from the 80s. This is the epitome right here. Toxic Avenger, you know, pretty much made the company who they are and what they became. And you have the Blu-ray up here, and you have the 4K. We all want it for the 4K. And these are all loaded up with all kinds of extras on it. You get like 2 cuts of the movie. You get unrated director's cut. You get the theatrical cut. You got commentary tracks, all kinds of stuff. Each one of these discs up here, you have tons and tons of extras. What Trauma does. The only knock I have really is it doesn't list the extras on like the back there, what you get and stuff like that. And even on the back here, you don't see them on here of what you get extra wise. Which is the only gripe I have about that. You don't have them on the back here, what you get on them. You have to put the disc in the player, and you'll see what's there on the special features. But pretty much all the same stuff that was on the previous discs and some new ones are on these up here. So You're not gonna lose nothing like that. And these look great in 4K. For the other ones real quickly, you get the Toxic Avenger 2 up over here. I like this one a lot because like he goes to Japan, Toxie, to find his estranged dad. I always really liked this one. I remember watching this one on the USA Network way back in the like early 90s. Probably the first time I saw it was on USA Network. I think like midday. I think they were playing this. It wasn't like USA Up All Night, but probably was USA Up All Night. You know what? I think it was USA Up All Night. I was watching this, and they were showing this. I'm pretty sure I saw it at daytime too. But anyway, I saw this on there, USA Network, way back in the day, and I always loved this one. And that's when I started watching the Toxic Avenger movies. Was the first time I actually first saw this one first on TV. And I went later on to video store and rented them out and things like that. And I just loved them ever since because they're just fun, just over the top, you know, just a goofy but gory, obscene. You know, just like great naughty horror fun. And this one's just great. I always like this one. It's just great. So it goes to Japan. It's like it's just funny and just like what the heck. And it's just great stuff. It's Toxic Avenger 2 up here. Toxic Avenger 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie, which was interesting. It's sort of like, I think it was made, I'm pretty sure it was made like right after part 2. I think it came out the same year actually. Like what this was like 89, I believe, right? Yeah, 1989. This was made in 1980, 89 also. So that's why it has that same kind of feel as this one because it's made pretty much back to back. And this one right here is Toxie's girlfriend. She's blind, but she wants to go to this experimental surgery to make her see again, to have vision. He's like scared about like her seeing him, how grossly just deformed he is from his toxic waste look. So it's kind of him battling with that up there. And then you got Toxic Avenger 4, which is made way later. I believe about like 10 years later or 11 years later. I think this came out like 2001. Year 2000 this came out. I remember this was a big deal when it came out. I remember the promotion of this way back in the day was a big deal. And I remember I got this on DVD right when that came out. It's like their biggest budget, of course, Toxic Avenger movie. Maybe Trauma's movie. It's might have been the most money they put into it. I believe so. A lot of interesting sidekick characters in this one. Just over the top. Good. It's out there. I like it. It's just fun. I love it. It's just so fun. It captures what these ones were from back in the day and stuff like that, which I like. Because I remember later on with Trauma, they get a little bit different. I love like Class Nukem High, this kind of vibe, Sergeant Kabuki Man. That stuff is like classic. And this one up here captured that essence of those, I thought. And these are just fun flicks up here. So I definitely highly recommend this. These never looked and you know, sounded so much better than they do on this 4K set. Great stuff up here. Highly recommend this, especially if you're a fan of Tromaville movies and Toxic Avenger stuff. This is a must-have in the collection. And next up here from Synapse Films, that is on Blu-ray. You get the Tombs of the Blind Dead up here. And I have this one too. Like I said before at the Tox Box, I got this in a nice collection set too. The old like DVD coffin case collection with all 4 films. That's why I love this set because this looks cool. It's like a coffin case. But now I have it on Blu-ray, and this movie looks fantastic here in Blu-ray. 1971 Spanish horror film. Great stuff for that time period. Is this up here? It takes place as these Knights Templars, these dead Knights Templars. They're like you know, kind of a cursed land, but then like later on in modern 70s, these campers go out there where they're buried like in their tombs, and they kind of unearth them. They kind of eat these people, and they do these rituals. The undead, they look really creepy too. They have like a Grim Reaper look to them. You can see right there with pretty cool practical effects for the time. That like the mask, like not the mask, but like the face makeup looks really haunting. Like these, like they have like these rubbery fingers, like these skeletal hands, and they kind of move because you can tell like they're rubbery, but they're cool. And some are like kind of stiff, you know. So they're kind of neat when they grab you. And they grab the victims, and they kind of cling like that. Just there's some really crazy stuff. They move really slow though, but it's cool in a haunting way with the music. And they ride these horses, like these death horses. And like the horses are creepy too. The horses have like these shrouds on them, and it kind of goes great with how the dead Knights Templars look. If you're a fan of like zombie type movies, like kind of old, like kind of like gothic horror in a way, kind of like, or like stuff like Universal horror type stuff or older school horror, you'll definitely love this if you haven't seen this before. And if you do have this and you own like the DVD of it, this looks fantastic here on Blu-ray. Really sharp quality, unrated version of this movie too. That's what this is. And it sounds superior. I've never seen it look and sound so much better. And there's a ton of extras in this thing. You can see right there. Loaded up. I'll read some of them off right up here. So you get the uncut version of the film. You get tons of interviews. all kinds of good stuff like that. A lot of a few different commentaries on this thing up here, documentary, The Tombs of the Blind Dead, and so much more in this thing. So you get the two versions of the movie. You get the disc 1, original Spanish language version of the movie, and disc 2, the Blind Dead theatrical US cut of the movie up here. The two versions of the film right up there. It looks awesome. Love that cover art. This is definitely a great upgrade to have in the collection, and that is Tombs of the Blind Dead. Definitely check that one out. And next up here, we have a couple of films from the company Visual Vengeance, and I really like them because they put out a lot of these lesser known, like 80s and 90s, and even more current shot and video type movies, indie movies, and like low budgety horror goodness. I get to really like that stuff. I like that kind of stuff, like SOV, micro budget films, because they're just fun and just really good. Kind of neat to see what people do with a smaller budget to be creative. And these ones are just great. They have very much an 80s vibe to them. This one up here to talk about. This one came out in like 1990s, early 90s, and that I've never seen before, never heard of it until I got this to review. And that's vampires and other stereotypes up here. And I like about these Visual Vengeance line, it's got these great slipcovers, great artwork. They have really cool things inside there too. I'll show you right now. Here's the alternate cover art right up there. Love that. Has like the kind of VHS looking back with the pictures. And inside those, they usually have pretty cool stuff. Like they give you like stickers in there, like a poster and a booklet and things like that. I'll show you real quick now. What you normally get in these sets, get the cool mini poster of the film. I love that cover art, looks fantastic. And have a nice little booklet up here and right up too of the film right up here. And I'll give people credit. I don't know, like they're micro budget type things, but they're cool because it's like a time portal back in time. People did, especially the stuff like in the 80s and 90s. I just love looking at that stuff. And these are great right here. You can put on your cover up here, kind of give it that VHS rental store quality look. But to get back to this up here, pretty much takes place, early 90s style. These paranormal investigators. And they wander around looking for paranormal activity type stuff. And they wander across this warehouse, but there's a rave going on at this warehouse. People party at this rave. They're trying to do an investigation. And in doing so, they somehow unlock the portal of hell and doom onto the planet at this rave. And vampires and demons started coming out of this portal. And it's up to them to stop it for all hell and these demon creatures get unleashed onto planet Earth. So it's up to them to stop it in 1990s style up here. And that's what you get with this. It's just some said, it's micro budgety fun. Like get some nice cheesy good gore in this thing, some fun horror comedy type stuff going on, some unintentional humor going on, the way it's shot, that kind of stuff right there. I love that kind of stuff. It's just like, I don't know, it's just very much a nostalgia vibe piece is this. I definitely had fun with it. It said it's not the best movie in the world. That's nothing like that. It's not like masterful cinema. But for what it is, I respect it and I like it. And you have to really like shot and video, micro budget stuff. If you like that kind of stuff and you're into that kind of thing, looking for new movies to add to your collection, this is a good one up here. And the stuff that Visual Vengeance puts out. These are loaded up with all kinds of features. They don't disappoint in the special features department. I'll read off some of them right now. You saw them right there, a nice list of stuff. You have a couple commentary tracks up here from the cast and crew, behind the scenes galleries, interviews, original press photos and things like that, original clippings and the behind the scenes footage from that time period, and so much more in this up here. It's just a fun to have the collection, fun stuff up there. Is vampires and other stereotypes. Also from Visual Vengeance, we get this one up here, the Lycan, about werewolves, Lycan, and about this family, this with the alcoholic dad surgeon, he's like a total alcoholic. They move to this small town in New Hampshire, and this town, they don't know, unbeknownst to them, it's ran by werewolves, so they get thrusted into this town where these crazy ritual things going on where they want to turn them into werewolves, up to them to stop it, and that kind of thing up here. This was filmed like 2006. It was okay, this one. I think I preferred this one more than this one. Still pretty fun to watch was this for what it was. And it's got some of the contents of it inside. And here's like the great looking cover. I love how that looks though. It looks so rad. And look up inside. This one has some really cool extras in it. I'm gonna actually want to try this out. So this one right here, you get the stickers, you get the booklet and the poster, but you also have a little car air freshener. And I'm curious to see what this smells like. It's supposed to smell like the forest up in here of New Hampshire. So what? Let's see if it does smell like a forest in New Hampshire or a werewolf sack or whatever it might be. Let's go find out right now and check this out. So go see. Actually, it's not too bad. I think I'm gonna put this in my car. It does smell like not overly piney Smell, not too bad, and I do like, so I love how they put these extras in this thing. They usually have all kinds of cool things, and I love this line, what they do. So cool, visual vendors for doing stuff like that. I love those little things right there are just rad. But yeah, I saw that in there, I was like, you know, I gotta check that out. It's all the cool stickers in there. Those are fantastic. Those are great to put on your VHS too. Like, what the heck, right? But yeah, pretty fun stuff was this one. It was all right of a watch. It was filmed in 2006. So not as old as the other one. I think I just like this one more just because it was 90s and just has that total shot and video vibe, because it was. This was just more of an indie, smaller budget horror flick made in the mid 2000s, but pretty cool for werewolf type stuff, things like that. It's always kind of hard to do a werewolf movie to make it good, but this one was okay for what it was. It was an alright one, and that is The Lycan Colony. And next up here, a couple films here from Unearthed Films, and these are for your like really like depraved horror lovers out there. I like the more kind of disturbing horror type stuff, underground horror, indie horror, stuff that gets in your mind and goes, what the heck am I watching kind of horror? And those are where these are right here. And I couldn't be more happy to watch these up here. And I have my mind disturbed in the best way possible. And I'll start with this one up here. You know what? Let's start with this one real quick. I'll save the best for last. It's out there. It's crazy. But let's start with this one right here. And that's the 15th anniversary edition here on Blu-ray. That is the movie Dead Girl. Pretty some interesting artwork up here. Here's my lips, see? But this one right here, very interesting movie. And cool, look at the nice slipcase up here. So because like there's the one I remember seeing this at video stores back in the day. This came out like back in 2006, if I got my math right. 2008. Sorry, math is bad. It's kind of 2008 up over there. I do remember seeing this at like for sale back in the day. I remember seeing this cover. I didn't see it till like years later, and it's a very disturbing movie. And it's kind of a messed up coming of age movie about high school and going through peer pressures in a sense, and just in the most messed up way possible. It takes place with these two outcasted characters, kind of like the picked on guys at school. They're kind of ousted from their high school, they get bullied and stuff, that kind of thing. So that wandering around, smoking, drinking, they end up at this warehouse, abandoned warehouse, out in the middle of nowhere. And they're going through it, being goofy, tagging, breaking stuff, as teenagers do, right? As teenager boys do, and that kind of thing. You break things, and you drink, and you smoke, right? And so they're doing that, and they go downstairs, and they see this room there. They go to this room and discover a woman that is naked and in a bag, and they think she's dead. And they discover she's not dead. She's alive. Or is she? Which I'll touch on that a little bit. And they're not really sure what to do. So they're naked. They're kind of like, you know, they're going through hormones, these boys. And one of the boys is a lot more of a a-hole than the other one. And he just wants to do disturbing things to this. And then they find out later that this woman they find in the bag, not sure if it's contact the authorities, but then they don't because they discover she's actually dead. So she's like a zombie, but not rotted zombie. She's like an undead, clean sort of looking zombie in a sense. And they do disturbing sexual acts to it. One of them does. And then after that, the jocks at school pick on them, and they force themselves to go there too, and they all do horrible, depraved things to this undead woman, and it's really messed up. You're like, oh my god, what am I watching? And it's up to the friend, the better of the two. He has like if he feels bad for what's going on, he's not really sure what to do. He wants to contact authorities. He wants to not do this, but he feels peer pressure to be there still and not say anything. But then better of him later on starts knowing this ain't right to do. You should be doing disturbing things like this, even if it's a dead woman. It's just not right to do. It's just not good, of course. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending or nothing like that. But things go on between him and his buddy and stuff like that, and him defending the honor, in a sense, of this dead woman zombie and that kind of deal. A great indie horror film is this one, Dead Girl. Very disturbing stuff. Not your normal, typical storyline, of course, but good for what it is. It kind of has an interesting social commentary in a way. That is Dead Girl up here, the 50th anniversary edition of it. and you get loaded up with all kinds of extras in this thing. I'll read some of them off right now. It's a new interview with the co-director, interviews with the actor, another new interview with special effects artists and things like that, and some original commentary track, theatrical trailer, and so much more of this up here. This looks great here on Blu-ray, shot really well. Great edition of it up here. You get the reversible cover art in case you want the original artwork. You can switch it off to that artwork over there, and you get the disc, all that inside there like that. It says looks great, loaded up, sounds good, looks great. Said if you're a fan of this film, or if you just want something different to check out, if you like kind of more of a disturbing type of horror, Dead Girl is a good one right there. And last but definitely not least of the depraved horror goodness, and that's also from other films, and that is one of the second movie of the August Underground trilogy, and that is August Underground's Mortem up here. And one of the most disturbed one out of the trilogy is this one. And I haven't seen this one in a long time. I never owned them. And if you're familiar with these are really just shocking movies, underground horror, shock, disturbing stuff is this. If you like gross, disgusting horror, if you like stuff like that, like underground, off the rails horror, that's what this is. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not your casual horror fan. This ain't for you. This is if you like the really messed up stuff. This is really messed up stuff is this. This is here on Blu-ray, and never looked better and sounded better than it does now, if you want to call it that. Yeah, insane stuff. Just crazy stuff. If you know these movies, I'll go over what. There's not really much of a storyline in this thing. It's shot on video, but it's made to look like that. It's like sort of like a pseudo snuff film in a sense, in a way, in real life killing film shot on video style. I get these crazy killers, and they do disturbing acts with each other. There's like necrophilia in this thing. There's like kind of like incestual stuff going on here. It's storyline wise. Just killings, grotesque stuff, gore, guts being pulled out, ripped apart. And I've been watching some of those. I did a couple of videos, a handful of videos out here of the cartel gore stuff. And this stuff looks real. Like, it's one of those things you watch this, I almost like the movie Cannibal Holocaust, those disturbing scenes of that. And you question, like, is that effects or is that real? You get that with this. Now, this was filmed for only $300 too, from what I heard. Only $300 was filmed for. And did a good job for what it was in this thing, and disturbing stuff. For Fred Vogel up here, directed this, or one of the co-directors of this up here, and it's disturbing stuff. I can't really show much of it inside because of nudity and stuff like that. I'll show part of the slipcase up over here of the commissioned artwork up. Here's the one that everyone sees is that one. This is loaded up with all kinds of features though, tons of new features. I went all out with this edition of it. You have a new transfer of the film. Commentary track, a lot of commentary tracks up here, a lot of interviews. Remembering Killjoy, you got Rue Morgue, promo video, U.S. premiere 2000. This was filmed in 2003, and just disturbing stuff, man. I mean, this is crazy. You watch this one, it is very disturbing. So can I show some of the back? I can show some of the back. But there you go, right there. Crazy stuff. Yeah, August Underground's Mortem is one of those ones where you watch this, and you're like, wow, what did I watch? It makes you want to just like rinse out your mind and wash your mind out of what you've seen here. But it's good stuff for what it is. I respect what it does, what it's trying to do. It's just very disturbing. And it's like, if you take away all the layers of the gore and stuff like that, it kind of puts you in the mindset of a psychopathic serial killer in a way, of deranged stuff going on. It was crazy. This stuff goes on in the world out there. This is some disturbing stuff out there. I've seen some of these things in these cartel gore videos, and this stuff is like not that, but there is some psycho stuff out there that people film, especially more so nowadays with their phone cameras and stuff like that. They can have easy access to it. Back when you had your video camera, it was always a little more harder, but this stuff goes on like that. It's just disturbing how it is, and it's still relevant now, this stuff right here. This is a disturbing movie for like, 20 years later. This one is still talked about on the underground. Horror is still out there. If you want to get some really gross, disgusting horror gore, this is usually the one they bring up, is August Underground series, especially August Underground Mortem. But if you like your grotesque, gory goodness and horror disturbed stuff, I would recommend seeing this one up here. And if you are curious about this kind of thing, you kind of like that kind of stuff, you're kind of curious about it, not sure what to get, maybe get that one too. But yeah, some crazy disturbing stuff that is August Underground's Mortem up here. And that's it for my movie reviews. A nice stack of horror goodness, all types of horror goodness. You got the disturbing up there, you got some fun SOV goodness, you got some cool Spanish kind of gothic horror, and you got some classic 80s goodness into the 90s. That is the Tox Avenger collection up here. All these movies, you can get the links down below. You can get these titles at and more. I said thanks so much again for the company to send these out to me to review. And so happy to be doing these again. So I haven't done these in so long. So I'm very thankful and appreciative to start doing this again since I'm at the new spot and things like that. And so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe if you like what I do. Hit the thumbs up. Comment down below. If you've seen these before, you think about getting these and stuff like that, let me know too. And I'll catch you guys later next one. I'll see you then. And bye.